Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Welcome to Business Ninjas. Thanks for setting aside some time. We're excited to learn more about you and the company that you've got. So why don't we get sort of the basics out of the way first. So maybe you could tell us about the company name and the website where people can find you and where you're based.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the company is called Artist Sales Academy. The website is the same, artistsalesacademy.com. Business is based in where I'm based, really, and it's, Miami Beach, Florida. My team is remote, mostly in the United States, Ohio, California, all these sort of things. The business itself is really kind of a blend between agency consultancy focused in sales and business development. We help clients generate demand using LinkedIn and email, phone calls, social media content, but really with this focus on business development. And sometimes we help them with some of their sales collateral and sales processes, and just good at building lists, coming up with messaging ideas, and then figuring out intelligent ways to scale outreach, but still make it personalized.
Gotcha. Okay. And I'm guessing, you maybe give us a little bit of the bio of how you got here. I'm guessing in your background, you had plenty of experience getting this done in various careers that you were in before. So maybe you could kind of tell us about how you came to.
Yeah. I'm fortunate in a way in that I worked at technology startups my entire career prior to starting this business. And these were early stage startups. They were really interesting businesses. I learned a lot of entrepreneurial things there. And one of the things I learned pretty quickly is that if I wanted to be successful, I had to get my own appointments because there was no marketing team yet to help. And the products were very innovative and new. And there wasn't, we were generating awareness and demand. And salespeople were both the marketers and the salespeople. So I figured out I got good at understanding personas and targeting and messaging and leveraging softwares to help me get appointments and find out what that message market fit was. And was a differentiator between myself and my colleagues. And that was often what helped shape my success. Like the hardest part was getting good quality opportunities on the calendar. Selling was easier. So so I did that at a number of organizations. And by my third or fourth one, I started a third company. Startups usually last like 2, 3 years.
Right.
By my third one, I just realized, hey, I think I have a knack for this. And I just wrote a little email, made a case study of what I had done at the company I worked for, and sent an email out with a video to 10 people. And I got my first 2 clients like a week later. It took me about a year and a half to send that email, nervousness or whatever, or uncertainty. But once I sent it out, very quickly my business started to garner more clients and started to grow.
And so a lot of times when you start something, you have like a certain vision for how you think it's going to go or what's going to resonate with people. And I wonder if that vision held, or after you got your first few clients under your belt, did you start to shift and pivot a little bit in how you were able to scale up to where you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. It did pivot a bit. I thought that I would, I knew I had these general skills. I didn't know how to place myself in the market. I started out working mostly with other SaaS and software companies, technology companies, but I started to learn, and that's still, is a core part of our business. But I also started to learn that I have the things that I learned working in these high growth environments were especially helpful to other small businesses that were less tech savvy, that were less, innovating with like the latest kind of technologies and approaches and sales enablement, sales automation, demand generation, all these sorts of things. So it was like, helping small consulting practices or mid-sized consulting practices, staffing and recruiting companies especially have become a really strong niche of ours over the last year or so. So a lot of these companies, the things that we do work really well for them or even better, and there's fewer people helping them with these sort of things. So it just lent itself to working even better, even though I never had direct experience in some of these industries. It was a fit.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe there's some information arbitrage there that you
It's so
know things
funny
they
how
don't. Yeah,
it's, yeah, it's like with a lot of the software companies, like they're so smart and so sophisticated with many of the things they're doing, and so many people are marketing them. You just like pivot a little bit to another direction, and many doors start to open up where they haven't heard these things.
right. And I wonder, so a lot of companies during the last couple of years in navigating through the COVID era had to kind of shift and change, and that staffing companies clearly had some big challenges during the COVID time. So I wonder how that pandemic experience kind of affected your business. What did you have to do to kind of be nimble and kind of thrive through that? Because it sounds like you did a lot more than just survive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I also, you can say that certain businesses had the wind beneath their wings. My business was one of them. We're a digital marketing company, a digital sales company, and with a core focus on LinkedIn. And so many businesses that could no longer do sales the way that they had been doing it, door to door, in person, all of these sort of things, had to figure out how to do it digitally. And one of the places they went to most was LinkedIn. And so many people were at home on LinkedIn, so it just kind of like became a great avenue. So our business grew during COVID. At first, it shrunk because we had a lot of companies selling like game cons, like VR headsets to casinos, and it's like, okay, definitely you're not gonna keep staying in business. Doctor,
Right.
off the, these businesses obviously suffered initially during COVID, so we lost those clients, but then very quickly. As it kind of settled that like, yeah, people are going to be staying at home, they have to find new ways of doing business. It lends itself to a lot of opportunity for us. Recruiters as well, although they suffered initially, that there's been employers have been massively have had a lot of job orders to fill essentially, and so recruiters have been thriving, definitely over the last year or two, more so than most other industries. I don't know how long will this last. If there's a recession next year and all these sorts of things, the market is so crazy and changing so much, but they have been doing very well, and we've been able to kind of help them do better.
Right. And as you look at sort of the big client pools that you're after, I'm sure they have some sort of unique attributes to them, some unique goals and challenges that you're helping them navigate. So maybe you could kind of explain from a high level, what it is that they're challenged with when you first kind of encounter them, and how are you helping them navigate through that to get to where they want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. It's usually a couple of things. Some clients have an idea and they're looking to either test some go-to marketing strategies and ideas and sort of see what the market has to say. We're really good at getting that immediate feedback. We have some strategies that does that, I think, better than most things and more affordably than most things. Just gets that momentum rolling and has sort of helps position to have a more evolved business. Others are simply looking for more calls and opportunities, and they don't want to do the grunt work, or they don't know how of getting calls on the calendar. So we're happy to do that and help them with this as well. While others are maybe looking to bring some of the processes and some of the knowledge that we have in-house. So we start building some of these processes, find the messaging, get the tools and software set up so that they can, do sales 2.0 essentially, and have some automation in place. And then, and then finally, some people just need kind of a brainstorm partner and are looking to, maybe they're looking that, or perhaps they have things working on certain channels and they want to open them up on others, maybe a more outbound approach or something like this on LinkedIn and email. Maybe they're already successful on Facebook and ads or something like that. So we kind of help in. And then, yeah, the last part was some need or want someone to just brainstorm with and ideate their offer and idea. And, we can help with that.
And I imagine you have to do a fair amount of kind of educating these folks, when it sounds like, because you know so much more than they do, they probably are just kind of swimming in details. So what's your outreach and sort of, customer education profile look like? How are you letting people know about what you have available, and kind of helping them understand the value of your business?
We have some strong strategic partnerships. So, we have some folks who have an audience already, and we're teaching them some of the things that we know. And so that lends itself to engagements from time to time. We also do a lot of our own, we eat our own dog food. The same strategies that we do for clients, we do ourselves, and that is probably makes up maybe half of our business development. We're constantly getting clients this way.
Yep.
And then, the other part is just doing good work and getting referrals along the way.
Yeah.
And in content actually is a little less focused on that, but whenever we do push content or share things on social media, it helps a lot. And yeah, so that's kind of the other piece that, if we ever really want more appointments, we a couple more posts, a couple more emails, and then momentum starts building.
Right. And so the main, let's talk through the main social media channels. I can guess at what the main one's going to be for you, but maybe share a little bit about your experience with the various channels that you've been testing with, and let people know exactly where they can find you. Which channels can they use to find you?
Yeah, we're mostly on LinkedIn and
Yep.
Facebook.
Yep.
LinkedIn and Facebook, email. I've done a few podcasts. I've started a podcast show. I have some YouTube videos, but so few. We've done 10 episodes and just never got enough momentum to keep pushing and creating more.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I figured LinkedIn would be the main one.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting too to see how that channel continues to go post pandemic, right? Like, I think a lot of people had undervalued it, and they're starting to wake up to it now. And I kind of wonder how long it's going to be before people realize the power of that platform. It's great that you're able to help educate people and help them find what, in a lot of cases, can be a free resource to them. They just don't know how to use it.
Yeah, absolutely. People are waking up all the time. I'd say it's definitely like on the up and up. It's definitely past the point of like being like the hidden social network. To an extent, like a lot of people are using it, know about it, but these things also don't get, as long as you're doing things well, they continue to work. I say, like, even cold email, like, such a simple tactic, but there's some people are just doing it so excellently, and they're growing their business this way and growing 7-figure businesses just by doing cold email well. And this is like the most basic way of doing business development, and it's still around, and there's agencies that still do it and all these sort of things. And it's just a matter of being able to separate yourself as, the 2 to 5% that's doing it really, really well or doing it really different.
Right. Right. Yep. Well, thanks for setting aside the time to help us understand your company and how you're helping others grow. And we wish you continued success in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jamie.
You bet.